So as you can see, we've made a bit of a temporary studio in my garden today. We're going to talk a little bit about static grass. Now there are different static grass applicators available on the market, but I thought I'd test a product today from a company called War World Scenics because it produces a device which is a little bit unique in the market for static grass applicators, and this is it. It's called the ProGrass Static Precision Applicator. So the way a static grass applicator works is it's got a positive and negative charge. In this case, that's between the applicator mesh on one end and the little crocodile clip at the other. And you've always got the traditional length of cable that goes between the two. Of course, providing the current to all of this is a little 9-volt battery inside the device, and you just switch it on with this little simple on-off switch. That's all there is to a static grass applicator. There's nothing really much to be worried about, except if you've got something like a pacemaker. They always recommend that you don't use them if you've got a pacemaker or any electronic fitted medical device. And like all static grass applicators, you fill it up with the static grass fibres of your choice, varying different lengths, and away you go. One of the key advantages of this though is that because it's got a small head, you're not going to get it all over the layout. If you want to apply a little bit of grass to one specific area, say against a fence or a building or a little alleyway, it's very good for getting into those little holes and corners and nooks and crannies on your layout. So I'm going to give it a go, and I'm going to do it with one of its other products, which is also pretty much unique to it as well, and that is a static grass layering spray. This is available in a 400 milliliter can format. It's a spray solvent adhesive, and you simply just apply it to whichever areas of layout you want to, just like you would do with a PVA glue, and then apply your grass over it. One of the key advantages of this though, unlike say PVA glue, is that it dries pretty much straight away, so you've got to work quickly. So one of the things I want to test beforehand is the spray pattern of this static grass glue, and it's purely because I don't know how wide the pattern is that comes out of this solvent can. It's the same when you're spray painting really. It's recommended that you apply it just neat to a piece of card or whatever, just to see how far and how high you need to be, a distance between the can and your application. So okay, so you can see it's actually quite neat. There's a very fine spray pattern there. It's not coming out like a massive mist. So we've now tested that. And I'm going to load up the static grass precision applicator with some beige 2mm fibres, just a few in the cap there. So it's important when you're working with a static grass applicator that you only fill it about half full with the fibres, and that's just because when you start shaking it, you need room for those fibres to move around to then loosen up and be attracted through that little mesh grill and onto your layout. So that's about all I'm going to add in there, as you can see, and we just put this cap back on place. With this applicator you don't actually need to have a pin straight into your layout. The electricity is enough to generate a bit of a static electrostatic field there just by having it in proximity to your glue. So I'm going to put the crocodile clip down here somewhere near where we're going to apply some glue. I'm going to go in with the layering spray. I'm going to apply plenty of it to the layout, say somewhere around about here. And we're going to switch it on and just go in there with the fibres. Now this is 2mm grass, so very, very short, but you can start off with 2mm and then work your way up to higher levels of grass. So I'm going for a bit of an abandoned wasteland look here at the moment. So you can see we've got a little bit going on there. Let's go a little bit around some of these bushes. You can be haphazard with the glue. You don't need to have it all in one area. That's how you get your patchy grass. So let's have a little bit over here. And it's challenging working outside because we've got a little bit of wind today, a bit of a breeze, and the grass wants to go in one direction, but we just approach the crocodile clip a bit closer. So we'll just leave that there, we'll switch it off. So that was our 2mm, and you can see we've almost pretty much exhausted the contents there just in that little short space, so it's something that you have to keep reloading a lot. I'm going to go in now with some patchy 4mm, or actually no, we've got some dead 2mm. Let's build up some different hues. Let's add a bit more glue around here, and we'll just go in there with the applicator. So you can see it takes a while for the fibres to come out with this, because we're talking about very small areas. If you want to cover a large area of your layout, then it produces plenty of static grass applicators in its range to cater for that sort of grass effect. You know, it's got the larger ones in its range, but this is just for detailed areas of work. You can see we're missing a little bit in the middle there, so just go over again with the spray. I might need to load it up again. So any stray areas of grass where you've got some fibres that have flown off, you can just wipe with a cloth or a finger, or just use a little brush later on, or a vacuum cleaner with perhaps something like an old sock over the end of it, just that you can save them for later. So in summary, that's all you need to do. The same basic principles apply to all static grass applicators really, starting off with a 2mm, working up to 4, 6, etc. And of course you've got the layering spray there, which makes it very, very quick to dry and also apply further layers on top. So I'm just going to finish off working on this little section. I don't want to overdo the effect, but I'll show you a few photographs at the end, and we'll just catch up later and see the completed article.